The Marvel Universe is filled with infinite possibilities. One small choice can change the course of history and set the universe on any number of different paths. What if those choices, those moments, turned the situation dark? So we all know the classic tale of when Peter was fighting the Green Goblin to save Gwen Stacy's life. The Goblin got the other hand and knocked Gwen Stacy off the bridge. Peter tries his best to save her with his weapon, but it's too instant and the tension snaps her neck and she sadly dies. Well, in this story, the roles are reversed and Peter meets his cruel fate instead of Gwen Stacy. It starts off the same. They're both battling on the bridge like normal timeline. Peter trying his best to save the love of his life and the Green Goblin is just being a dick. Peter thinks he's got him out for the count with a left hook, so he goes to Gwen Stacy to save her, but the Goblin isn't out and he knocks Gwen Stacy to her doom. But what if? In this timeline, Peter doesn't use his webs to catch her. He leaps after her, catching her, preventing the fall. He tried to swing away, but the Green Goblin interferes, snapping his web line. They both fall, Peter cracking his skull on the side of the bridge before plummeting to the ocean below. Gwen eventually resurfaces for air, frantically looking around for Spider-Man. She sees him face down, and that's when she pulls his mask off, revealing him to be Peter. Gwen attends his funeral after dumping the costume and keeping his mask. She protected him, even in death. She wanted Peter to get the credit because that's who she knew him to be, not Spider-Man. She goes to Peter's place waiting for Harry to let her in, day after day after day, until he finally arrives. She tells him that she wants to be in his room, alone, and he obliges. She finds all of Peter's spider equipment and she puts it on. This isn't too hard, she thought to herself. She readies herself to jump, but she's not him. She doesn't have powers, she doesn't have training. She's just Gwen. She needed help. She tells Harry everything, and he says, just leave it to Spider-Man. Peter was Spider-Man, she says with icy cold eyes. Harry agrees to help and they start planning, staying up all night every night, going through every minute detail over and over again. But Gwen left out the most important one of all. She still held on to something of her father's that will come in handy when it all goes down. They lured the monster in with a note. They webbed it to the side of the bridge where Peter had perished, saying he's still alive. They ready themselves cause here he comes. He enters and an explosion goes off. He's caught in tons of web fluid. He can't move. Gwen emerges from the shadows in Peter's gear. The Goblin taunts her. What will you do, arrest me? This is the moment she's been waiting for. Just pull the trigger, she tells herself. But in that moment she remembers who Peter was. Brilliant and silly, brimming with life and purpose and potential. Not a stone cold killer. She drops the gun and reveals herself to him. Peter wasn't weak. He was a hero. The Goblin begins to smile. Harry! Harry did what Gwen failed to do. The Goblin lets out his last words. Harry, son. Harry runs to his father in complete shock. You made me do this, he says, with a crazed look on his face. Gwen didn't know. Harry blames Gwen and wants to make her pay. She turns around and picks up the gun and flees for her life. She dumps it in the same river as the Spider-Man suit. Harry dons his own suit for the first time. She visits Pete's grave, swearing to make things right. Maybe Gwen Stacy didn't have powers, but she has made a promise. She'd helped make a monster, and she was done hiding from both. Maybe she wasn't ready to call herself a hero yet, but she was finally stepping out of the shadows of her darkest day. That's it, everyone. What'd you think? I really liked this story, and if you liked it too, let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe, all that shit. Peace.